So, I haven't done one of these in a while. Actually, you can probably see in the back there, my little clipper that I have to hold my phone up kind of broke. This is kind of wobbly, so I'm going to look at this back and see if it's not too wobbly, then it'll be okay. Something with the new iPhones, they have some kind of stabilizing, whatever, I don't know what it's called, for people who do like shake while they move a camera. But if anything familiar with the way the roads in West Virginia are, you know that it's all over the place. Even some of the 4-lane or interstates are like that. But I thought I'd come on just to update things that's going on in my life, because it's been almost a year. I was looking, it's been quite a while since I've actually posted any type of video. So I thought I'd do this. I want to post something, I can make a video about some updates with VIPKid, because I noticed a lot of people are suddenly coming back. I don't know why. I think there has been an increase, and I saw some talk about some changes in regulations, and I've had some of my former students, I've had them come back. Now I did have some where, because I've been full-time the whole, not full-time, but I've had a fully booked schedule ever since. There was that little dip, like I remember like at summer, and then like that fall it kind of decreased, and then like maybe January I bounced back up to where I was with numbers. I don't know where they came from, but they were there. And so I've had a steady schedule ever since. And then I've taken some time off, like I took a week off in April. These are things I never did when I first started with VIPKid. And then I took 2 months this summer. Usually if I took a summer off, it was only like a month. Like the month of July I would take off. This time I took the month of July all the way up until like August 21st, like the first day of school. I wanted to have a really true summer where I sometimes just did nothing, just travel, do whatever I wanted to do. And that felt really good. So there were some students who moved on to other teachers in the meantime. I've noticed some of them have came back. But I've had 1 or 2 students that I had before the regulations in China changed. They've appeared back on my schedule. One in particular, I used to have these 2 brothers, a younger brother and older brother. Actually, the younger brother was kind of more advanced than the older brother, but I always saw them at least once a week. The older brother I saw once a week, maybe twice a week. The younger brother maybe once a week, I think it was. But I didn't realize they were brothers until one day, because I noticed because a lot of the backgrounds look alike. One day I was with the older brother, the younger brother popped up and waved at me. I said, oh hey, I didn't know you two were brothers. But anyway, I saw him, like I haven't seen him since before all that went down in 2020. Was it 2020? What happened? Anyway. And no, 2021. And so here they are back. Some of the minor popping up. There's some more I'd like to see come back. I've kept up with all of my students that I've had, not all of them. I've got a lot of my regulars on WeChat. I keep up with their families. I post stuff on WeChat still. I still see them comment and like what I post. I do the same with their postings. I still get to see them grow up. I just haven't had them in the class. I'm getting a lot of those come back. I'm not getting as much. Yeah, I'm still keeping, like some of my regular Tiger School kids, that's through VIPTeacher. I keep saying VIPKid, but I should say VIPTeacher. It's going to be hard to break. I've done, even though we've been VIPTeacher for months now, I still say VIPKid. But there are some there's like Tiger School kids that I still have, but I'm getting fewer and fewer like newer Tiger School kids, and I like those kids. The curriculum, I really don't care much for the curriculum. I'm sure it is a good one. I just don't, some people like it, some people don't. They've improved it to where it's actually interactive, because it wasn't interactive. You'd see like a button there that push here for blah blah blah, and basically when VIPTeacher first took over Tiger School, it looked like it was just screenshots of a computer program geared toward like reading comprehension or reading skills and writing skills and all that. And you just do the slides like that. Then they finally made it to where it was interactive and it was sounds to it, and it improved a little bit like that. I liked it when the hour, because they would call them an hour long, but it was actually back to back the regular 25-minute classes. I I liked it better like that, I think. Because now, though, they can book them as a solid 50-minute class. And sometimes, if you're just tired, sometimes those 50-minute classes can feel like you are in a marathon. Especially if you have those back-to-back. There's that 10-minute break between them because there's no longer the in the hour-long, 50-minute classes. You know, they stopped doing those that break in the middle shortly after like those regulations happened. So I can't remember the last time I've had one like that. But I do like that 10 minutes between. That gives me time to run, get a drink, make coffee, or get a coffee, run to the restroom, whatever you need to do. A 5-minute just gives you a breather to stand up, stretch, sit back down, and go to the next one. What I do is I open my schedule the way I want it. As they book, I keep an eye on it because I don't want to be fully on everything. I like breaks. You know, I like my little breaks. I used to try to book as many as I can. I'd get burned out, and I would dread opening my schedule in the morning, see if I have it. But now I don't, because I do like leave little breaks in my morning. I don't want solid like that. I don't want to do that. One, because I have multiple jobs and multiple things going on, and I'm just tired. So, but I would like to do a video on some updates that I've seen there. I saw someone posting in one of the Facebook groups about what are you all doing in place of Feedback Panda, and I'll show you what I'm doing that is actually much better. I wish I would have, well, but this wasn't out really when Feedback Panda was out there, but this is a software they've improved that I actually go to, and I get really wonderful, I think it's really good feedback. And so it's personalized. It's not like, it's not a template. You don't use templates, and I do this, and ever since I've started doing this, I've noticed I'm getting more students, and I'm getting fully booked like before the following week, even like 2 weeks ahead. I'm getting fully booked. I don't know if it's the feedback or just coincidental or what. I do like how you can now look at your teacher profile and see what the parents see. I had a couple no-shows, so I was able to see that the parents are able to see a percentage, your attendance rate. Like I was on like 96% for a little while there, then as the month went along, as I taught more classes and actually showed up to them, little by little, I went back up to now I'm back to 100% attendance rate for that. But I'm still with VIPTeacher. I've been with them ever since, I think it was, I was officially hired September of 2019, but my first classes weren't really until like mid-October is when I actually started getting students like that. So I still have my NGU and Native Camps accounts, not Native Camps. NGU and Native Camp accounts, I still have those two. I've taught the minimum just to keep my contract there. With them, you do have to teach a minimum. VIPKid, they just keep renewing you until you say you don't want them anymore. But with, I want to say both of them or one of them. I know definitely NGU, you have to teach at least one class every 90 days. And so I think it's been maybe almost 2 months now, so I better teach a class, open up one class and teach. I want to keep it there because with them, like VIPKid, they don't really, some of those they do, some they don't. Anyway, Native Camp, I did get my account deactivated, but they were just sending them a quick message and they reactivated it. And what I didn't know with Native Camp, if they do deactivate your account because of inactivity, and they send you a message saying we've been reactivated, make sure you teach a class as soon as possible, blah blah blah. And in my house, like, okay, they will give me a little extra time there. They don't. That means to open up and teach what Native Camp, if you're familiar with, I can't speak, familiar with Native Camp, that they have like bookings, then they have sudden bookings that are, you get paid a lot less for those. But they mean to do it immediately as soon as you, because I waited a day. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in, and I was back to being deactivated. I got the same email message, you're now reactivated, teach a class as soon as possible, blah, blah, blah. And so I did that. I opened up, I had free time that afternoon, so I opened up a sudden booking slot. I was booked within like 5 minutes, and they just pop up. You're sitting there waiting while you're on available mode or something, and you'll hear doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and like it'll say the student has booked you for sudden booking. I taught that class and I was back in good graces back with Native Camp. They've changed their paying structure a little bit. I don't really know it. I know you can actually go up and down. Like Native Camp, if I was going to get just regular bookings, I would get $9 per class. But I think I've only had 2 like over like maybe a year and a half I've been with them. But because those students, from what I've heard, whatever package they buy, they can book as many sud bookings as they want, but they only get so many actual bookings. But they like head bookings appointments. Anyway, so that's why they, the sudden bookings, they only pay me like $4.98, so it's like $5 or something. It was not very much, but it's another thing to do. It's not a very. The thing about Native Camp I don't like is they have a script. Like you have your lesson here, and on your side, on your screen, there's a script on the side they'd like for you to go by. In the training, you can tell they go verbatim by that script, and when they're training, they want you to do that. So, yeah, and then of course I can't just go by a script. I like to deviate from it and teach what I feel is great, and I've never been docked for that. So. And the students seem to enjoy it much better instead of just booking a robotic English teacher. So. NGU, they sent me an email back in the summer. They teach a class by this date or be deactivated, so I did, and I'm back on their grade. I think I was in August. October. I need to. Yeah, I ain't going on 2 months probably here, and so I need to book a class here just so I don't forget. NGU's changing a little thing a bit about how they do their rating system. If you're ever on any of the NGU Facebook groups, the majority of posts are people complaining about their ratings because, like VIPTeacher, VIPKid, whatever you call it, when someone gives you a rating, their name is there, so you know who gave you that rating or whatever, how many apples they give you. With NGU, I want to say Native Kid might be like that too. The student isn't required to have their name attached to your star rating unless they include a comment. If they include a comment or some kind of feedback about your class, then their name will be there. If they just give you a star rating only, they don't have to attach their name to it. Actually, they don't. If there's no rating there, if there's no comments there, you won't 100% know what student gave you that rating. And so that's why they are more apt to give you a 3 or 4 star. I have a whole video on that, of what my opinion is and what your star rating would be, to which I call the shark infested waters, where there's some students who give 4s just because they can, and that's a certain rating. If your rating is in with this range, you're in shark infested waters, as it's called. So that's what it is. But I have those 3. I still do, again, VIPTeacher, not VIPKid. I do that regularly every day except for Thursdays. I don't do weekends anymore because I have other things going on. And plus, I always have one day where I just sleep without an alarm clock, and that's Saturdays. I do that. And down at NGU and Native Camp, just enough to keep my contract in. I still have my full-time job with the University of Charleston. I am, I just have my name tag on the university. I'm still, I still have my position there. I started there fall of 2021 as an assistant professor of education. I still do that. I mainly teach courses that lead toward a special education endorsement here in West Virginia. They call it a multi-CAT, LDBD-MI. They've added DD, which is development delay too. That's a whole different thing too. But and I have a couple of classes that all ed majors take. Anyway, I still do that there. I love that job still. It's been a wonderful opportunity, and I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. If you know me personally, I tend to get bored with my in-person jobs. So I'll just do something different. I'll do this for a little while, move to something different. I'm not like that yet, and I know this is only I'm in my third academic year with the University of Charleston, but still I'm not thinking about moving anytime soon. Now, part-time, I've picked up a few things. I've always been, even before the University of Charleston, I was part-time as an adjunct, online adjunct for Grand Canyon University. I've been doing that since, I think, probably shortly after I got hired with VIPKid. Grand Canyon University hired me as an online adjunct for their graduate program in their, I don't know the actual name of the program. I know the classes I teach, but I want to say it's like, it's in the like early elementary special needs. Not just early ed only, but even special needs. And so I teach classes geared toward that in the master's program in that for that university. So I kind of got hired with them about the same time as VIPKid. I didn't start my first class. They seem to do like a rigorous training, and then you teach your first adjunct class with a mentor, also enrolled in that class. I did that January of 2020, and so I've been with them I'm always teaching in a class. Sometimes they overlap. I don't know how their semester runs. I know they have a traditional campus there in Arizona, and they do go by a traditional, like you think, fall, spring, and winter semester. But their graduate online classes in the program I teach in, they kind of just like a rolling type deal. They don't really have a break for that. Liberty University, I've been hired through them. I got hired through them last summer as my job title is adjunct instructor dissertation chair. I don't adjunct anything, but that's just part of the job title. But what I do with them, I can serve as a dissertation chair for dissertation committees in the School of Education. So I do that. I now have 2 doctoral candidates where I'm the chair of their dissertation. 2 wonderful, wonderful students. I've been blessed with my first 2 students to chair. They're both on top of it. They're definitely a lot better than I was as a doctoral. I'm such a procrastinator. But very on them. Like, I give them feedback on their dissertation, on their draft, and within like, at most, I think one might have taken 2 days, and she returned it. Here it is. And I was like, oh wow. And so it's been a learning. It's definitely been a learning experience because it's something I've never done. I didn't think I'd be good at it, and I still doubt myself. But thankfully, I was blessed with 2 wonderful doctoral candidates who will surely graduate on a plan, and they do have a plan. And again, they're much better along at this than I was when I was at their phase in the doctorate program. And I like that. I've kept it at 2, and I haven't had anybody else. I know there's a limit to the number of students you can share their dissertations. I've definitely not met that. I've only had 2 so far. I think there was someone who requested me recently, but something happened and they weren't able to continue. Nothing. I don't know why. It was disciplinary, I'm sure. Probably just something. Life happens, and maybe they'll return to Liberty at another time. But I like that. Liberty University's been good. And my most recent job I picked up is working as an evaluator for Western Governors University. If you don't know Western Governors University, they have definitely a different model compared to other universities, both online and in person. I think they do have some in person. I think it's like in their nursing program, they have a lot of in-person things going on. But they have a competency-based model where if you can demonstrate that you know something, you don't have to take a whole class on it. If you can prove through assessments and projects and whatever you have to do, you get evaluated. If you can prove that you are competent in that by meeting the objectives on the said assessment or assignment or project, whatever it is, then you can move on to the next course. I guess you can call them courses. Yeah, they're courses. Yeah, they call them courses as well. And their modeler, I forget what the model is, what it's called. I know it's called a competency model, but I'm talking about the model. Like, there are course instructors. Each course has a course instructor, but the course instructors are not the ones who evaluate and do all that with the assignments and assessments like that. They have evaluators, so each time you'll have, we can evaluate all the courses. Like, it's not like we just stick to one course. So there's instructors, evaluators, and you have a mentor. There's course mentors. They're the ones who will stick with that student throughout the program, to encourage them, answer questions, do all that so they can get them through the program, and always have that stable person there throughout the whole way. Instructors, you know what that is. The evaluator, we never actually meet the students, and so they do it this way. And so through the way the competency model is set up, this is to help keep any kind of bias away from evaluating, so that, like I say, if I have a friend who signed up, well, I just say, oh, they're competent, move them on. Well, on the assignments and stuff I pull up when I go to evaluate, it doesn't have what I'm supposed to. Sometimes the students will put their names, I don't know who they are. And they're random. When I open the assignment, before I open the assignment, there's no names on it like that. When I open the document up, the student might have their name on it. They're not supposed to, but they do. Not a big deal. I've never seen a name that I've known, so it's not a big deal. I don't even look at the names half the time. I just kind of go by. And it's a very unbiased evaluation system. And so there's that model. So if someone doesn't fully demonstrate competency, and you don't fail, they call it kind of fail, they call it all passed. Then what that student can do, they can, let's say, like one of the tasks is a functional behavioral assessment / behavioral intervention plan. They're given a case study, and based on what they've learned in the course and information from the case study, they develop the functional behavioral assessment. You know, they found what's the target behavior, what are some reinforcement behaviors that encourage the target behavior to continue, antecedent consequence, what's the function of the target behavior. And so they do that with the functional behavioral assessment, the FBA. Using that information, then they develop the student's behavior intervention plan as a whole thing for that. And then once they finish, they submit it, and then we evaluate each aspect of that. Did they correctly identify the function? Did they correctly identify replacement behavior? And if they didn't identify, if they don't get competent on every aspect, I can mark partially competent. And when they get it returned to them, they will just have to correct what they are missing to demonstrate competence. They don't have to do the whole thing over again. There's one assignment we have that sometimes they do have to do the whole thing over again, and I'll get to that. But they can have another triad to see, oh, okay, and we give them feedback. Why was it not competent? We don't just put not competent and send them on and leave them guessing. And so we tell them what they've done right, and then we give them feedback to where they missed the mark on it, and they get that feedback, and they have their course instructor there with them too. If they still don't understand what feedback we're giving them, or they still don't understand, there's always a course instructor they can contact at any time. They're not open 24/7, but they're there for them. And if it's well, I'm going to speak too much. I don't know how much I'm able to talk about. So, but there is one assignment where they have to like a video, not a presentation, but it's hard. You can't just go back and cut and paste. You have to do the whole thing. But anyway, it's like one of the capstone type. It's not a capstone, but it's one of those culmination of a lot of things you've learned. But it's not a capstone project. I don't know what you call it. But anyway, that's what I do I do that part time. I can do that at any time, anywhere, as long as I'm in the continental. Well, as long as I'm on U.S. soil. Let's put it that way. Like when I went to Texas, where my aunt's property is like touching the Rio Grande, literally touching the Rio Grande. I got permission because sometimes when you're there, let's say if I had to use my phone as a hotspot, there's sometimes, unless you make an adjustment in your phone, it'll switch and grab a Mexican tower, and then, not that probably, I don't know what would have done, but I wanted to cover all ground, and they gave me permission to do that. If that were to happen, it'd been okay. But yeah, I can, if I'm up at 2 in the morning and I want to get some hours in, I can do it at 2 in the morning like that. So that job I like a lot because I can just work anytime I want. I'm part-time, so I can't just work 60 hours a week. I can only work what part-time hours would be. But I can do that like during the week, however, when I want to schedule that. So like this morning I was up early. I taught my VIPKid teacher classes. I worked for them for 2 hours evaluating tasks, and then I packed up and now I'm on my way to the University of Charleston right now. On Mondays I have an evening class, and so I'm just looking at time, make sure I'm not being late for it. Then there's that, and then we just move on with life. But that's basically what I'm doing now. Full-time University of Charleston. I'm still doing VIPTeacher. I never stopped. I know some people stop. I'm not judging if you did stop, because you can't just sit there and wait and wait and wait if you're not getting any bookings. You got to do something with your time to still make money. So there's no, I'm not saying, well, I waited and you all didn't. No, I'm not saying that at all. Thankfully, I was booked the whole time. There was a span there I'd probably get like maybe 1 or 2 classes a week. That's maybe like in the months of December and January. Then in February, I started picking back up to where about March I was back to being, every slot I opened was getting booked for that. Some people said that. Some people said they never ever got to it. It's one of those weird VIP teacher kid, whatever it's called, things that it's still a mystery in the air that we don't know why things happen. It's just how it is. We don't know. I've seen people with the best background, they put so much effort into it. They have secondary rewards, but lively and bubbly, and they don't get booked. And then you have someone like me, and I have kind of a plain background. It's cool around where I'm at the night, or that morning. I never use secondary rewards. I stopped doing that like early in the program because it was getting too much. For me, it was. Some people love it. I had one parent said they liked it, but they didn't like the extra reward because they felt it took up too much time. And so ever since that happened, I was like, I just stopped doing it, and I took myself away from like anything level 1, because that's just not my forte. I'd rather, I'm sure I'd get more bookings, but I would rather leave those students to someone who really, really likes and enjoys that age level and that developmental level, and that's just not me. They're fun to play with, but as a teacher, I'm just not, and especially at 5 in the morning, I'm not going to be up to be that perky as some people would be. I'll go back to where I was. Oh yeah, and so someone like me with a plain background, no secondary rewards, I just wear a plain black shirt every time. And if I'm going somewhere that day, my last class, I'll probably have this shirt on here, whatever, and I can get full bookings. So it's there's no magic formula still with VIP. That's same. That's something constant about the VIPKid teacher program, whatever we want to call it, VIPTeacher. That's still a constant. That's still there. There's no magic formula that to get bookings. It's just open up and see what happens. And when you get a booking, try your best. Be you. Be natural. And hope for the best, I guess. What you say for that? I do want to share what I did. And it's nothing groundbreaking that I do for my feedback. But when I read the feedback, I'm thinking, oh wow, this is what, I remember seeing those videos about how to give great feedback and not just templates. And this is kind of feedback that I think parents would appreciate. It's not like, because you've seen those feedbacks, and I used to fall into doing this, and then like just giving a play-by-play of what everything happened in class. That's not really feedback, but I did that too. And I'm not saying, I'm not judging that part. I did that too for a long time. And sometimes the feedback pandas were like that, but it was quick and easy. I got out of there and got my money left. But I feel like this is what happens here. Gives really good feedback like parents would want. This is what they did great. This is where they still need to improve. Here's some funny things we did in the class. Yada yada. Go on for that. So I will talk about that when I'm able to sit down and actually make a video there. I probably won't be till this week anyways, because I'm on the road a lot this week doing different things for work. And that's about it. That's my life right now. I'm getting ready to actually get into Charleston, so I better shut this down. I'm gonna grab lunch and then go into the office and teach my 4:30 p.m. Monday class. Good seeing you again.